Hi guys, and welcome to my video about my guinea pigs. Today I'm going to give you an update on my two little boys and give you a more in-depth look at their breed. Now as you can see at the moment, you're watching footage of the two when they first met back in August when Teddy was about 7 weeks old. Now prior to this, when I picked him out, he was about 4 weeks old and he could fit in my hand. He was so small. Now fast forward to now and this is him. Yeah, he's a beast. He's actually bigger than Pee-wee, which isn't surprising since he reached Pee-wee's size within 2 months of living with me, so he was only about 4 months old. Now, as I've explained before, Pee-wee was the runt of the litter. When he was born, he barely made it, so we always knew that his size was going to be stunted, but in terms of guinea pig size, he's still pretty big. For example, the average guinea pig is 20 to 25 centimetres long and weighs around 700 to 1,200 grams. Boars tend to be more like 900 to 1,200 grams. It'd be easier if I just said 1.2 kilograms. Anyway, Pee-wee is 992 grams and Teddy is 1,071 grams, and they're both about a foot long, and if you don't know, a foot long is 30 centimetres. They're massive, and that isn't even them stretched out, that's them just sitting still. When they're stretched out, they probably go to like a foot and a half. So if you get your 30 centimetre ruler out that you always have just hanging around the house, you don't even know why it's there, that's how long my guinea pigs are. They're massive. Now before any of you think, oh my goodness, what are you feeding them? They're only that big because of their breed, and their breed is Rex. Now Rexes are very large and very docile, so they're nice and sweet guinea pigs. And to give you a perspective of how big these guys are, they're both in a dog bed at the moment, and they're filling it up quite well. So I know that the Rex breed isn't so common. When you go to shops you usually see like smooth head guinea pigs, I don't know what their names are, but then you see ones with long hair and rosettes, lots of different ones, but Rexes aren't always that common. So I figured I'd put together a few fun facts about the Rex breed. So number one, they're very similar to the breed known as Teddies, but the main difference is that Rex have harsher coats and curly whiskers. Number two, Rex's hair grows from the back to the front, so you tend to have to stroke them backwards. Number three, Rexes have great temperaments. They're really lovely, they love to be fussed and handled, so they are definitely great for a first time owner of a guinea pig. They definitely don't need much maintenance in terms of their hair, and they're really sweet. Number four, they do continue to grow until they're 14 months old. So even though Teddy's big now, he could potentially get bigger. And what's really interesting is although they do finish growing at about 14 months old, their physical features can continue to change up until they're 2 years old. It's crazy. Number five, they don't have rosettes like a lot of guinea pigs have. And number six, their name Rex means king in Latin. So yeah, they were some facts for you. I have heard that Rexes are more commonly kept as pets in Europe and Teddies more common in North America, although with the pet trade, you know, you'll probably see some crossovers. But if you are wondering what happens if you cross a Rex with a Teddy, unfortunately I've heard it's very boring. They give birth to normal looking guinea pigs. They don't even look like Teddies or Rexes. They kind of cancel each other out. You know, with like leopard geckos you have 3 strains of albino, and if you breed any of those together you just get a normal leopard gecko. It's kind of like that, so yeah. Now, a lot of people ask me what it's like to care for a guinea pig versus caring for lizards, and I have to say it is a lot more work. You have to clean out their hutches a lot more often. For example, you have to clean them out at least twice a week. They do smell a bit bad, they eat a lot, they need a lot of room to move around and lots of exercise and so on, but they are very sweet and they're bursting with personality. But in terms of lizards versus guinea pigs, I could have all 6 lizards and they wouldn't be as much work as 1 guinea pig. So, yeah. So in terms of an update with Teddy and Pee-wee and how they're getting on, I have to say for the most part they're like best friends. They snuggle up together, they rarely argue, they tend to enjoy each other's company, and when you have 2 males and you hear there's 2 males, you tend to think, oh, they're going to fight, but actually for the most part they are totally fine. There has been in the past a little nip on the nose. Nothing dramatic, mainly cosmetic, you know, like a little... It looks like a paper cut, if anything, And that was mainly when Teddy was coming into his hormonal stage, and there was probably a bit of rivalry for who's the top dog there, but after that, like, there was nothing. One thing I have to say though is at one point they were both like rumble strutting, so you know the sort of sound they make, and they come up at each other's face, and like, you know when they put their face, if you're a guinea pig owner, you know what I'm on about. They put like their face up at each other. And I moved Teddy just to get the conflict like out. Just no, let's move Teddy. Shouldn't have done that though, because he turned around and bit my hand. And this is a result. Very painful. But what that actually showed me is this is a potential what they could do, and he has all the reason he could do it. Pee-wee has all the reason he could do it, but they choose not to. So they have all the weaponry. This is what they could do to each other and worse. But that is positive to me because that shows that even though they could do it, they're not doing it. So obviously there's a mutual agreement what's going on there. And when they're apart from each other, like if I'm holding one and someone else is holding one, they start talking to each other across the room, and it's just the cutest little thing. So yeah, they get on really well. Now, when they were little, Teddy was small enough to snuggle underneath Pee-wee. Unfortunately, since he's grown, he hasn't really realised that he can't fit there anymore. Well, he can fit there, but he makes Pee-wee quite uncomfortable. Now, as you can see here, this is what he does. He still does it. He still loves to just snuggle under Pee-wee, and I think it's a comfort thing. He's like a little big baby. It's just the cutest little thing. But yeah, sometimes they always favour my left arm and they both lean on it. So there's over 2 kilograms just leaning on my arm, just a dead weight. Like, my arm goes numb every time I have them out. But when people see them, when they come round and I have the guinea pigs out, they can't believe that they just sit there and go to sleep on me. And yeah, they're just really, really sweet, giant guinea pigs. They are a lot of work, but they're also really sweet. I would say if you're going to get a guinea pig, do not get one of those pet store cages. You know, the little plastic cages that's just really cruel because they need a lot more room than that. Also, pay special attention to their diet. For example, you can't just feed them an apple, a carrot, a tomato and a pepper. They can get mouth ulcers. There's too much like vitamin C. You have to look into the diet. When you're little and you think of all these animals, you don't actually think of how complex their diet is, but it is really, really important. And they constantly need hay. So if you have any allergies or anything like little bits of dust in the hay, you can get dust-free hay, but I have the stuff from the farm because you get like a whole like bale for like $5 and it lasts ages. It's amazing. But yeah, just think of all of those things. It's quite a big job to look after guinea pigs, but they are awesome. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and thank you very much for watching.